This is for you, Scorpio. Mars is transiting direct in the sign of Sagittarius through the 16th of the month of April 2016. This affects your second house of money and your possessions. Now, beginning on the 17th of the month, Mars will turn retrograde, nevertheless still transiting through the sign of Sagittarius, bringing in past methodologies or dealing with your second house issues of your cash monies, your general finances, and your belongings. Now, Mars is known as the attribute of God the warrior, found in Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war, almighty is his name. Now, heads up, not only is Mars turning retrograde, but also Pluto turns retrograde as well this month. Pluto still transits through the sign of Capricorn the goat. This transit lasts until 2023, so this is a long transit, but Pluto travels direct until the 18th of the month when the planet goes retrograde. Now, a retrograde transit of Pluto in Capricorn influences your third house of communications and transports during this journey that causes you to go into nostalgic types of communication methods, and to select, it'll cause you to want to choose or select more antique modes of transportation. And this will have a very significant effect on you, Scorpio. Remember, it's in your third house. Now, Pluto is known as the attribute of God, the rich Father, found in Luke 12:24. Consider the ravens, for they sow not, neither do they reap, neither have they storehouse nor barn, and God feedeth them. How much more are you more valuable than they? Now, let's see how your ruling planets of Mars and Pluto affect you this month, Scorpio. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. Your water guardian Archangel Gabriel speaks to you from your Scorpio Zodiac Angel, Barchiel. This is an angelic horoscope transmission from your Scorpio Angel Barchiel, who resides over Scorpio's fixed water. And here are his messages for you in love, money, and health. First, Barchiel's love transmission with the help of the Archangel Gabriel, who is the Archangel of Water, your guardian angel who rules over all the water signs. So Barchiel's love transmission is to start writing down your hopes about romantic surprises that you are looking for. You might be anticipating that you want something of a surprise, something to make you a little bit giddy, or something that's a little bit more thrilling in your romantic aspect of your life. That this is what you're looking for, some kind of gift. And you've counted on that, and you may feel that you've been waiting for this for a lifetime. That's taken you so long to finally get what you've anticipated. And this is the crystalline form of the Archangel, the guardian angel, who is Gabriel, who resides over all the water signs. So we're going to give you a Merkaba presentation, a Merkaba meditation at the end of the video, along with the surprise sort of rune stone that we've gotten for you this month. It's what came up for you. And we're going to go over your Merkaba meditation, so stay tuned for that. Mer means rotating fields of light, Ka is spirit, and Ba is soul. And this will add another dimension of emotionality to these areas of your life. So we can help you with that, again, later on in the transmission. Now, this message that you're looking for, this surprise romantic message that you're looking for this month, will arrive when you least expect it, creating an unforgettable stamp upon your life, and it'll make your life experiences so far up till now, it'll be one of the most important, memorable experiences that you've had. So this, again, is going to be a message that you're going to receive. And again, it'll arrive when you least expect it. Your love life is at a point where you might have given up on anything truly meaningful due to past negative experiences, but the springtime season launched last month will propel you into rather a different perspective. And for those down under, you kind of enjoy, because it's sort of your time anyway, isn't it? More of the autumn time, and the autumnal equinoxes are sort of a more moody time that for Scorpios down under, that'll be easier for you because it's more romantic season anyway. Now, for Barchiel's money transmission, again with the help of the Archangel Gabriel, money will be the topic of conversation in all your relationships this month, but be of good cheer, because although people often gossip incessantly about you, you may be you have to be in a situation where you understand that the banter that's thrown around about you is of a positive nature. So in other words, it's a situation where if you were actually the proverbial fly on the wall, you would actually like what you hear. So even though there's a lot of gossip about you, it's all good gossip. So don't feel frightened about that. Not this month. Now for Barchiel's health transmission, again with the help of the Archangel Gabriel, the Archangel who rules over all the water signs, the emotion and feelings, and all of these important emotive passionate behaviors. Good news come your way about your health this month. No doubt due to hyper-vigilant concern on your part that is understandable with all the hype that goes on in the media about the dangers of substances such as oxygen, eggs, milk, cheese, meat products, and so forth. Diets and health are based on genetics and blood type, with more prehistoric blood types, such as O negative, obviously requiring more meat for health, and in that this is what humans had to resort to during hunter-gatherer phases of their existence. So if you're of a blood type that's more ancient, you're going to need meat more than someone who's of a more modern blood type, like AB. So it has to do with genetics, what people need to keep their constitution strong. Now we're going to get into this month's lucky runestone prediction for you, Scorpio. This month, the rune that came up for you is Gibo. And Gibo is seen here. It's shaped like an X. That's not the representation in the Norse or Teutonic tradition, but it looks like an X, and therefore it's called that for the English transliteration. Now, for Gibo, gifts galore comes to you this month, affording opportunity for unity and creation if you but understand that all gifts on these dense planes of physicality in the astral come with a price, because the astral plane is it's a lower spiritual body. It's not a spiritual body, it's an astral body, but it's not exactly physical. And then there's the ethereal, the etheric body that's kind of like a membrane over the earth. So it's very close to the earth. So some of these are more dense, and it's easier to deceive people in those realms and in the higher causal, spiritual, and body of light realms. Now, disclaimers in order here. High magic can be dangerous. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. Now, remember, during this Merkaba presentation that we're going to give you, or Merkaba, Mer meaning rotating fields of light, Ka meaning spirit, Ba meaning soul, we're going to utilize the hexagram of water, which is the crystalline form of the Archangel Gabriel. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to utilize this format, and we're going to give you a more advanced version next time with showing you how to rotate these hexagrams. But for now, we're going to stick with you just in sort of a beginning phase where you chant your divine tone, which is I create, that kind of thing. You can do that as many times as you feel necessary. And that's a more stationary or eternal now in a serene moment type of meditation. Whereas if you chant creating, if you chant that's a more progressive format which creates a future and a past. So do what makes you feel well. Not what makes you feel good or bad, we say, but what makes you feel well. So, again, this is going to bring you up to a very high spiritual plane, up into the high spiritual realms of the body of light. This is a crystalline form of the Archangel Gabriel. So what you want to do is you want to embed this into your mind, and then you want to, when you close your eyes, be able to call it up And then next time, we're going to show you how to spin these properly. Now, we're just going to add a little clip here regarding how you manifest either Christ risen or Christ crucified. That's also in the ancient Egyptian pantheon was Osiris slain and risen. So what we want to do is give you just a little understanding that when Christ is on the cross, the crucified Christ, and he has the thief on the right and the thief on the left, they represent the future, the fear of the future, and the regret of the past. And the crucified Christ is the moment, the crucified moment, where the eternal now, the eternal bliss of being in that still moment in paradise cannot be attained because you're in a progressive state where you're moving, when you're using progressive words like working or thinking or being or becoming or any of these things. Eheye, Asher, Eheye was sort of a stamp of creating that I am becoming that I am becoming, not I am, or whichever word you're using, whichever divine tone you're using. That's the stationary one. But the progressive one that is becoming, Eheye, Asher, Eheye, that creates the situation of time, the Alpha and the Omega, which is the serpent of time, the Nefesh of time, where you have the head and the tail, and you have something before that you regret or not, and something in the future that you fear or look forward to. But still, there's that doubt, and the moment right now cannot be experienced in all its glory, because you're not in your eternal now. Now, if you want to be in your that's of course obviously Christ crucified, but Christ risen is when there is just I am or I will or whatever divine tone you're using of the 12 divine tones of the Zodiac. Whichever one of these you're using, that puts you in an eternal now in Christ resurrected. That's Osiris risen, Christ resurrected. And that's when he is not looking at the future or the past, but is in his eternal now stationary moment that is actually paradise. So if you want to experience eternity, you can't be looking at the future or the past. You just have to be in the eternal now, which is obviously a healthier, more blissful place to be because it's more serene and it's more centered and it's eternal. So that's the differentiation and the distinction we want to make here. And you use whichever one that makes you feel good or bad, or makes you feel well. Now we're going to go into the ephemeris information and calculations for Eastern and Greenwich Mean Time, respectively. First, the Eastern Time. We're using Eastern Daylight Time for this. This is the new moon on the 7th of April 2016 at 7:24 a.m. That's at 18 degrees Aries 4 minutes. The full moon on the 22nd of April 2016. That's Earth Day. It's what's known as Earth Day. And that's at 1:24 a.m. and that's 2 degrees Scorpio, 30 minutes. Now for London time, Greenwich Mean Time, we have the new moon on the 7th of April 2016 at 11:24 a.m. That's 18 degrees Aries 4 minutes. And the full moon on the 22nd of April 2016, that's Earth Day again. That's at 5:25 a.m. at 2 degrees Scorpio, 31 minutes. Thank you for joining us, Scorpio. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Join us again next time.